Staying forward on the motorcycle is very important in order to have more control and so that you can be more aggressive. These photos were in no particular order, so I'm going to let you decide who you like and what you like about them. As we look at most of the riders, whether they're in a whoop section, whether they're going over a jump or around the corner, pay attention to the riders themselves. Think about the positions that they finish on the racetrack and look at their technique and what they're doing as far as how aggressive they are, as far as who's using the clutch. That's an important thing as well. Who's on the balls of their feet, but more importantly, the look that they have on the bike. Who looks the most aggressive? Who would you like to be like if you could choose exactly who you are going to duplicate? For me, when I look at the top riders, I see the guys that are on the podium, the guys that are the most consistent, that have the best look. There's some guys that have a good look on occasion around the racetrack, but they don't have a good look everywhere. Some of them don't have that charge. They don't have that head down, head over the front end. The more you keep your head forward, the more aggressive that you can be on the motorcycle. If your head is upright, how aggressive are you? How aggressive are you trying to be? Obviously, if you're riding a 450, you're going to need to be more forward than if you're riding a 250. The same as if you're riding an 85 or a 60. However, what is too far forward? I guess that's the question. Can you be too far forward? I guess the only way that I see that you can be too far forward is if you aren't real aggressive on the motorcycle. Certainly being way over the front end wouldn't be a good idea. But the more that you are forward, the more your head is over the front end, your arms are out away from your body, the more control that you're going to have. That's another thing that's very important, keeping your arms out away from your body. Your hand grip is going to be very important, because if your hands are square to the handlebars and not using what I call the tennis grip, which is the same as you would grab a hold of a screwdriver if you were going to turn it, if you don't have that grip, what's going to happen when you turn the throttle is your arm is going to drop down a little bit more. So keep that aggressive tennis type grip, I should say, whenever you're riding, so that your arm doesn't end up way down whenever you twist the throttle. The more your arms are opened up, the more control that you're going to have over the motorcycle. Again, as we look at all these riders here, let's take and consider what place these guys are finishing in the results. Take a look at their style and see if the style kind of puts them in the place that you think that they would be. Again, head over the front end. Starts, doesn't make any difference where you are. It can be starts, it can be jumps, it can be corners. No matter where you are, the more your arms are opened up, the more control, the more leverage you have over the front end of the motorcycle. In order to be aggressive and be over the front end, your hands have to be opened up with that hand grip. Of course, the more that they're opened up, the easier it is as you go forward for your arms to open up, and it allows you to have more control over the motorcycle. Don't let your arms get pinched too far back behind you. Again, that's a sign of poor hand grip. As we look at these riders, pay attention to where their head is in relation to the handlebars. And remember that the more aggressive you're going to be, the more you need to be forward. You almost, and I say almost, cannot put your head too far forward unless you're not going to be on the gas at all. Keep that face piece at or in front of the crossbar. The look, to me, is very, very important. When I look at the guys that are going the fastest, the ones that are winning, they are the most aggressive looking riders on the racetrack, and they have more control than most of the other riders do. Whether you're standing or whether you're sitting, you want to try to keep that head forward all of the time as much as you possibly can. Keep those arms open, stay on the balls of your feet, keep your finger on the clutch, and be as aggressive as you possibly can. It's about learning to control the front end of the motorcycle better. Okay, so you're saying, well, I'm never going to be Ryan Villapoto, and I'm certainly not of that level. It doesn't make any difference. No matter what speed you are, no matter what age you are, no matter what your riding ability is. If you have the best position on the motorcycle as far as being able to control it, and I'm talking about the front end, if you can't get the front end to go where you want it to go, you don't need to worry, because the back end is not going to go there either. You have to get those arms opened up and keep your head over the front end. I say this over and over and over again. I work with riders all the time. I tell them they still don't get it sometimes. I'm telling you, when you look at these guys, if you want to have the kind of control that they have, you need to be forward. So what do I like about Ryan Villopoto? Just about everything. I like the way he rides most of the time on the balls of his feet. I like the fact that his hand grip is pretty good. I like the fact that his finger's always on the clutch. I love the fact that he stays way forward on the motorcycle. I like the fact that he's aggressive and he's always digging for a little bit more. If I had to choose one thing, I would say be careful of sticking that leg too far out in the corners. More chance of a knee injury. Other than that, I love this guy, and it's the reason he has the #1 plate. So let's take a look at Ryan Villopoto doing a victory lap. Last lap, main event. Here it comes. Well, that right there is how it's done, and I can tell you this, with a little bit of luck, this guy is going to have the #1 plate again. Maybe not only in Supercross, but he may get it in Motocross as well.